Thank you very much. Hi, everyone. Love to see you. Hi, Lisa Marie. Hi, Deborah. Hi, Melody. Hi, Kevin. Esther, how are you? Hi, Deb. Hi, Jody. Karen, Bill, and of course, the hostess with the mostest, CJ, Craig Jackman. Here's the title for today. I know you guys are going to love it, and it's called Real Freedom. Real freedom. All right. And so, how I got on this subject, and I'm going to be bold and like I always am, is I watched the memorial for Charlie Kirk. And then what I also watched is, them celebrating his birthday and him getting the Freedom Award, the largest award that a citizen or individual can get, the Presidential Freedom Award. And so one of the things that really got me is, Erica, his wife, stood up there and said, listen, everything about him was about freedom. And when I thought of this word, is we all say, well, we'd love to be free, but really free from what? See, there's a lot of things that we could say. And it's amazing. I use not only Google, but AI. And I said, what are people wanting freedom from? And when you think about it, we all talk about freedom, but usually it's in, well, I like free time. You know what I mean? I like freedom of time. Most people will not imagine, I'm going to be using that word a lot, imagine their life outside of not having a job because they really don't have any purpose in life. Right? So if I didn't have a job, what the hell would I do? So your imagination about what you would do for others, the way to greatness is the service of many. It's like you got to really have a grand imagination of what you would do for people if you no longer needed to take your whole day and do something to make money. See, if you talk to a lot of people, if it's not a job, it could be building an organization. It could be trying to recruit. It could be about, doing content on social media. It could be about selling products. I have to do all this stuff. Is that freedom? So you're free from a job, but you can't just take months off because you need what? Money. So when you really think of real freedom, we hear people talk about financial freedom. Well, if you wanted financial freedom, wouldn't that be free of debt? Wouldn't that be everything that you owned outright? You didn't own debt on any of it? Because if you don't do those things, you're lying to yourself. You're not really free. Because don't you have to pay your bills? I remember one time that I got on this thought before, and a lot of people don't realize this, but do you guys realize every utility, every monthly bill that you pay can be paid a year and years in advance? Even auto insurance here in the United States. People do not know that they go, well, I pay monthly payments for my car insurance. Did you guys know that every state has another option? Listen to this. You can put up a bond. So you can wire them. I'm just throwing a number out there, but you can wire them like $100,000. And guess what? They have to pay you interest on your money. So now you have insurance to drive your car, but you're not paying monthly insurance, and you actually are making like the money sitting in the bank, a good bank that's paying you interest. But why don't people know about these options? Because they're nowhere close to thinking about freedom. But what are other things? You guys, if you don't mind, I don't mind if you throw some things in the chat. What are other things that you would like to be free from? while you guys are thinking, how about being free of pain, free of illness, free of fatigue or low energy? How about free from unhealthy habits, body shame? How about free from poor sleep? How about free from limited mobility? How about free from being in an area that you live that sort of toxic? Maybe it's too noisy. Maybe the air quality, the water quality is not good. Maybe it's not safe. How many people like to be free from worry, free from fear? You know, so think about all the things that we're sort of fearful of. Well, wouldn't that be just peace of mind? Wouldn't that be joy? So if you had a sound mind and you had joy and peace in your life, how many things would you be free from? So sometimes people say that they're free, but they're just in a different. I've always said this about people that are, when I got involved in marketing and being an entrepreneur, I was always telling people, listen, you need to be free from your job. You need to quit, you need to fire your boss. But when people would go from their job to being a full-time entrepreneur, they usually had less time. The joke is, and I know that some people have said this, but it's like, listen, I quit my job that was taking 40 hours a week from me to be an entrepreneur that took me 200 hours. So how many of you would agree that freedom should be something that you don't have to worry about all these deadlines? And I know that some of you have seen me, show this before, and it's on our website as well. But when you talk about, how many of you like to be free of shame? What is it? What is it? What is that? We feel shameful. We mostly beat ourselves up because, hey, I should have did this and this and this, but I didn't. And some people call that shame, but it also could be guilt. How many people would like to be free from guilt? How many people would like to be free from grief? How many of us are still looking at the past and we constantly go through this stuff where we're, oh my God, I messed up there. I messed up there. I messed up there. And you're holding this stuff forever. You know what I mean? How many people this one sort of got me. Free from desire. See, what we told in personal development books that, you got to have an incredible desire. You got to have an incredible desire. How many people notice that that's not even close to the center? That's a negative emotion. Why is it a negative emotion? Because desire and craving something means you don't have it. Isn't that crazy? So I do understand having an excitement and an enthusiasm of my imagination of creating something that would give me joy. You guys hear what I'm saying? But that's not the same as all day, every day. I'm thinking about I need it, and I have to have it. That might be a different energy. How many people would like to be free from anger? Free from triggers. You know what I mean? Now it's funny because as soon as it gets in the middle here, as soon as it goes from pride to courage, now all of a sudden you're in a positive vibration, not a negative vibration. And those are things that we want. We want courage, willingness. Maybe willingness, I never thought about this. In The Science of Getting Rich, which is my second favorite book, it talks about the will, to really, really understand the will to do something. Maybe for the first time, because I'm talking to you guys, maybe for the very first time, now I understand what the difference is between the will and the desire. Would you guys agree? It's like, so it's good to have will, but a desire is a totally different energy, a totally different vibration, a totally different frequency. Reason. So we want reason, love, joy, peace, being authentic. How many of you can think of other things? Now, Craig, I know that we put it in the chat. I can't see the chat, but did anybody throw some stuff in there they want to be free from?
You saw worry.
Yeah, I didn't.
And
So thank you.
that was free retirement is one that just did pop up. Our Freedom Day retirement back in July from Karen Owens.
Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to list some of these off, right? Because I want you guys to hear, because when I went through Google and I didn't realize that, I didn't put 10, so I don't know why it gave me 70. All I asked is I said, can you tell me some things that people want freedom from? So of course, debt, living paycheck to paycheck, being in a constant financial stress, dependence on your job, fear of not having enough. There's probably no one that you guys know that don't feel enough. They don't feel worthy. They don't feel like they're not at a place of receiving, right? How many people would like freedom from that? I do feel enough. I know that I'm enough. I know that I'm deserving, right? Free from limiting beliefs and freedom from scarcity. One of the things that I learned in personal development is my mentor told me if I didn't change the way I thought about money, that I would never have any money. And I was going, what do you mean? And he's going, do you know of people that you get upset at for having money? And I was, oh yeah, those are the people on Snob Hill that have too much money. Their homes are too big. They have too many cars. And he's going, Robert, you can't have if you're mad at people that have. What? If you're making up stuff, because I know that none of you have done this. It's like, look at that house. And your first thought is, wow, look at that home. And then Dino jumps on you, right? It starts doing the voices in your ears. And you're going, no one needs that big of a house. I wonder how much the taxes are on that house. You know how long it would take to mow the lawn? How long would it take to clean that house? How many of you guys know that people that have houses like that have house cleaners, they have maids, they can afford the taxes, they have landscapers. But why do we do that? We do that to talk ourselves out of not feeling bad for not having that home. See, it's like, that car's too expensive. Well, instead of having 4 cars, they could have gave people some money. They could have gave, people some charity. Instead of buying a car that costs $300,000, they could have helped some people. I can guarantee in most cases of my awareness, people that make a lot of money give a lot of money. It's the media and propaganda that only focuses on a few greedy people. And then the media tells us you shouldn't be greedy. Most people that I know, if you gave them a hunk of money, they've saying this, they've proven it over and over again. When people win lotteries or win a bunch of money, usually in 3 years it's all gone because they still don't have the right mindset for it. So they take all of their family, first class on a trip for a month to Hawaii. A lot of people that when they get extra money, and I'm like this, when I was young, if I got extra money, I was taking people out to eat. I was buying them a gift. Let's go to Vegas. So your heart, and so that's the keys to that. So financial uncertainty. Again, this one is something that when I thought about this subject, the need to trade time for money. All right. See, that's what I think happens when someone leaves a job and then they get into marketing. It's like they still are not free. See what I mean? It's like in some cases when you become an entrepreneur or you're building something, it's like you have less freedom. You have less freedom. So I love that it says the need to trade time for money. How many people would like to be free, know that whatever you built is bringing in a cash flow and everything's paid, and you were free to do whatever you wanted? If you wanted to take 1 month off, 2 months off, 3 months off, that it wasn't this thought that what you build is going to fall apart, right? So let me see here. Usually when you're in position, I'm running through these just because I'm blown away when it says, true wealth is when you own your time. So under time and lifestyle, it said, freedom from long hours. Wow. Being overbooked, rigid schedules, lack of rest or personal time, missing your family and meaningful moments, feeling stuck, being too busy. How many people do you know that I'm too busy? I'm too busy. It's like those are a video that we did a couple, days ago about words. How would you like to be free from never saying you're too busy? Free from saying I can't. I'd like to be free from I can't do that. I can't do that. I can't do that. Free from digital distractions. Digital would be laptop, your phone, your tablet. Now here's mental, right? Free from anxiety and fear, free from guilt and shame, worrying about the future. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this, but I always am bold with you guys. But most people understand prayer, right? Well, worry is praying and imagining a worse future for yourself. Worry is you spending the time of thinking things that aren't happening may happen. Would you ever want to be in a position where you didn't worry anymore? That'd be a nice freedom, wouldn't it? But also with different words, anxiety, self-doubt and low confidence, negative talk. We just did that one. That was Craig. He brought that up. Perfectionism. I have to say, I'm very, very blessed. For some reason, my DNA missed this. I'm shoot and then figure it out, shoot and figure it out, and shoot and figure it out. I'm not a ready, aim, fire person. I'm a guy that just try this. I didn't work. Just to try this. I'm I've mastered I mastered failure, which is there it is. Freedom from thinking that you're going to make a mistake. Freedom of failure. Freedom of other people's opinions, right? Because a lot of us really, really spend a lot of time. How would you like to be free from feeling unstuck or unmotivated? Right? A lot of people are like, I'm free of procrastination. How about overthinking? How about comparitis? Do any of you need some freedom from comparing yourself to other people? Well, look how good she's doing. Look how good he's doing. You know what I mean? Wow, look at, it's like, wow, I must. So it says mental freedom is the peace becomes your default status. What if freedom and peace of mind was your default? All right. So relationships and social freedom. How many of you guys would like to be free from toxic relationships? Free from judgment and criticism, free from fear of rejection, fear of being a people pleaser. How many of you would like freedom from loneliness, feeling lonely, free from gossip and drama? Wow. Because we always get these people that, oh, did you hear what so and so said about you? And it's like, yeah, it's usually the people that you did the most for. Why is this? I don't know. Me and Esther was talking about this, and people don't realize you do something for someone and they're so gracious and thank you, Craig. I really appreciate you. I thank you for doing that. And then Craig does it again. And it's like, that was really nice of you. And then I reach out to Craig and I go, hey, Craig, can you do this? And Craig goes, I'm really, really busy, but for you, I'll do it. And then I go, Craig, get this done for me really quick. See, there's no appreciation. There's no gotta boys. There's no nothing. Craig, get this done for me. And then Craig goes, no. And then I tell everyone that Craig's an asshole. It's like instantaneously, I forgot all the things that he did for me. And then Craig, here's I'm telling everybody, Craig's not a team player. Craig's not putting the team first. You know what I mean? It's like, what is wrong with people? But hey, it's a real thing. Free from controlling and manipulative people. Have real freedom from needing external validation. How many of you sometimes need other people to say, "Good job, Deborah. Good job." It's like there's not enough where you believe in yourself and you're patting yourself on your back. You don't need anybody to say that you're doing good at all, right? But I like to be free from that. Let's see, relationship freedoms is learning to love without losing yourself. Okay. So spiritual, whoa, here we go. And inner freedom. Feeling like you're always separate from God, source, universe. Some people constantly feel they need to have freedom of always thinking that they're not part of what they need to be a part of. I guess that would be, there's a lot of things that people need in life, and one of them is certainty. Certainty, security. And so that the opposite of that, guilt, doubt of purpose. Again, there's a lot of people that they constantly believe that they're not doing their purpose and their passion. How many people would like to be free from that? And why am I listing all these? I'm listing all these because that should be what we're doing, right? In Science of Getting Rich is when you find people that are full of love, have joy and peace and a sound mind, and you know that they're connected, how much more valuable or meaningful is that than money? And I'll tell you why. We've all met people that are that person and they don't have money. It's like these used to be the weirdest people in the world to me. That they're just full of peace, love, happiness. They always seem to be joyful. They're always laughing. And it's like you find out where they live and you just go, are you kidding me? That would be cool to be free from that, right? Because some people, Terry and I were talking this morning, and it's like a lot of people feel to be something, they got to show you what they own. Look at my clothes, look at my watch, look at my car, look at my ring. I need to prove to people that I've made money. And the joke with me was always is that, how much Mark Zuckerberg got beat up, when they decided to take Facebook public and he immediately became a billionaire. And then they asked him to go to all these places, hedge funds to sell stock. And so these guys were offended that this kid showed up and some floppies, a pair of Levi's and a hoodie. It's like, how dare you dress like that? And his thought was, this is what I always wear. And isn't it funny when you find out about these people like Jay Leno? A lot of people are this way. It's like you look at their closet and all he's got is 20 hoodies exactly the same color. It's like people are going like, what? And then the next roll, just giant walk-in closet, right? And it's all empty, except for a line of hoodies, a line of Levi's, and a line of T-shirts. It's like they don't even want to make the decision on what color should I wear. See, if I look in the closet, wouldn't that be freedom from what other people think about you? Like it reminds me of, for those of you that are international, probably won't know this guy, but there's a senator that we have in the United States named Fetterman. And he just irritates everybody because he shows up in debates in a hoodie and he's got shorts on, he's got flip-flops or whatever, and he just doesn't care. And someone confronted him one time and said, why would you rather dress like that than in a suit? And he goes, I have no ass. And the guy goes, what? He goes, yeah, I put a suit on, and even with the belt, my pants just fall down. He goes, I physically don't have an ass. And he goes, so if I have shorts on, they're elastic, they stay up. And when I put a hoodie on, it goes over my ass. So no one knows that I got a small ass. And I just went, man, that's a person that just knows who they are and doesn't care about anybody. Right? So pretty cool. Free from feeling disconnection from your soul. Fear of death, fear of meaningless, fear of religious dogma. So a lot of people, the reason they don't like religion, is because they don't want to be judged for the things that they like. It's like, the more you get caught up in organized religion, the more they say that you can't be something because you're still doing something. Now, here's the craziness about this. It's not the really bad things. It's all the little accidental thoughts that we have. You know what I mean? Rah, 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 rah. If a person like me, I won't say you, but a person like me, I feel sometimes like I'm sinning all day. There's no way that I could add up to their perfection. So why be judged? Why not just stay away from it? So I love that we talked about the spiritual stuff, and then the religious stuff is fear from that. I'd like to be free from, religious dogma, feeling unworthy. There are people on the planet, I know this is getting deep, but I just wanted you guys to feel this, right? There's people that need to feel freedom from feeling like they're not empathetic enough, right? That they're not loving enough. So I'll give you an example, and this might not be you at all, but someone goes, oh my God, did you hear about Alaska? They had a big storm and the waves came in and 2,000 people lost their homes. And people are like, similar thing, I think less than a year ago happened in Hungary. You know what I mean? All of a sudden a river flooded and just took out whole villages and whole neighborhoods. You know what I mean? And it's like, And then when sometimes, people, you're like, hey, did you hear, something happened and a bunch of people died, and people are like, I'm supposed to feel something? And then other people tell you, you should feel something. Give some money. And it's like, I don't feel anything. But we're judged for that, aren't we? You know what I mean? It's like, hey, you should give some money. You should care. I believe, without getting on a tangent here, is that's why everyone is uniquely different. That's why every one of us, do I believe when I see something happen in the world and it's like people from 2,000, 3,000 miles away packs all their stuff and goes there and helps those people? In my thoughts, that's why God created them. I can't be all things for all people. So sometimes I feel, wow, if God made some people that are going to go take care of this situation, then I want to be in a position to throw some money at it. One of my favorite stories, and this is freedom, right? So a lot of you have heard of a company called McDonald's. Of course, the story, if you guys haven't seen the documentary of Ray Kroc, it's pretty amazing. But when he died, his wife, of course, inherited the majority of the stock. And imagine, see, I'm giving you an imagination of what I know happened. I know this for a fact. But same thing that we were talking about, a river got flooded because of ice, during the winter time, and the ice started breaking and plugged some stuff up, and it really, really flooded Fargo and Grand Forks, North Dakota. Just really, really flooded it. And I think it displaced like 20-some thousand people. It was a pretty big deal. And all of a sudden, this news broadcast came out. And it said, if you have a driver's license with the physical address of Fargo or Grand Forks, there's 8 banks that are outside the city limits that are not in the flood area. And if you go there, the bank will give you $2,000. And everybody was like, who is doing this? And then they said it was an anonymous donor that did this. Well, that's the state that I'm from. And I raced race cars. And we always got our gasoline, because it was higher octane, from the airports. And so there was a kid there that said this beautiful black Lear private jet came in. And when it landed, it had the golden arches on the tail. A couple guys got out with briefcases, were gone most of the day. They told them to fill the jet. They came home, came in late at night and left. How would you like the freedom that Mrs. Kroc is watching TV and goes, oh my God, someone's got to help those people. She picks up the phone. Hey, Jimmy, yeah, go down and help those people. Well, what should I do? How many people is there? Like 12,000, 20,000? What's that times $2,000? Yeah, take that much money, go down there and put that money in there for the people. And every year back when I was young, they would always write articles in the Forbes magazine that Mrs. Kroc would be in the top 10 wealthiest people. But they would say, but again, she decided to donate more than 44% of her income because that was the law. Do you know the law in the United States now is 60%? So if you don't want to be taxed on $2 million, just give 60% away. Tax write-off. Well, I need that money. Then you need to make more. You see what I mean? So how many people would like the freedom that when you see people in need, you have the time and the money to just go do it? Wouldn't that be cool? And she always did it anonymously. I talked about the physical things, and then society is the last one, okay? So freedom from government control and corruptions. We can imagine, can't we? Again, I love Mother Teresa. You know, she said, everybody wanted to tell, why won't you protest? And she says, I'll never protest against something. But if you want to do a rally for love and peace, count me in. So you always got to think, am I going against something or am I for something? So a lot of people are against the government or against a party. That's why I think that people are irritated. Because, because wouldn't it be neat to actually hear someone that's for something? For something where we can all agree? That's, when me and my son get in debates, they go, don't you think it's a human right? For everyone to not have to pay go bankrupt from hospital bills and medical care? Don't you think it should be a human right to be not hungry? Don't you think it's a human right to have shelter? So that's great imagination. But a person that has great imagination would make that happen. And people go, well, not just one person can make that big of a difference. Oh, no, you're wrong. A person that doesn't need to be patted on the back or, get awards. There's a lot of people out there that do incredible things for mankind and no one knows who they are. But I would need the time and the money to do that, right? So I know people that their hearts is to take care of orphans, Jesus' way. And I just make sure that they get all the money they need to take care of those orphans. Does that make sense? It's like, so, there's a good one. I don't know if I'm going to read all these ones, because these seem really weird. I'll just say them because I said, media manipulation and fear of narratives. And I'm starting to go, a lot of these sound like personal choice. If I don't want to be bothered by them, I don't need to be watching propaganda all the time. It's funny. Number 64 is social inequality. You know what I mean? It would be cool to be free from that. You know what I mean? Censorship, lack of truth, violence, war, overregulation, red tape, surveillance, and restrictions from free speech. So um, people want to, here's a closing line. People want to be free, not just financially, but emotionally, spiritually, mentally, and physically. They want to wake up without fear, live with purpose, and love without limits. So, why did I want to call this real freedom? Is for me, how I continue to push myself is just thinking bigger. Just the grandiose thoughts, you know? So I'm like, dear Heavenly Father, in the name of Jesus, I'm so happy and grateful for the million affiliates I have. The million members in Unlimited Wisdom. And people go, I think you're at 230. Yeah, but I'm thinking, I'm being very happy and grateful for the million. And, I remember Matt and I having conversations. You see the plaque behind Craig, the plaque behind us. And that's when we had, 7,500 subscribers. I think between the two channels now we're probably over 200, over 52 million views. It's like, now Mr. Beast just got an award for having over 400 million subscribers. So we can we can make things bigger, right? We can think bigger. But I wanted to do this because I was really, really inspired by I think I brought it up too. I know I did. I brought it up on another hang on a second. I'm trying to find, maybe I can't find it because I just need to not think about it. Just come. Oh, I found it. There it went. um, I was trying to sum this all up in one word. And the word is suffering. Suffering. Yeah. You see my pause? Because it's one word. I would like each and every one of the people that I touch, I want them to have real freedom and I want them to no longer suffer. I don't want them to suffer from anything. And so the key for my life is I want for you what I want for myself. Did you catch that? And so a lot of people go, well, I don't know what I want. That's why I wanted to do this video. For you to be real free, total freedom, to have real freedom, you got to know what it is you want to be free from. Sometimes, I wouldn't say sometimes, I'd say most times, we go from thing to thing to thing to thing, not really knowing what we would love. Our total imagination of being very, very clear on what kind of freedom we want to experience. See, I believe that some people go, well, I want to be free from this toxic, awful relationship. But then what you do is you find out they're in another one. Because of who they are, the 5 people that they hang around the most are people that are not giving them any joy. So then they get rid of those and get like 5 of the same kind of friend. We go, I'd like to get rid of this stupid job. But then you become an independent distributor from a company where you're working more hours and getting less freedom. Why? Oh, I was told that I would make enough money to be financially free, and that would give me more free time. You can get free time and not be an affiliate for a network marketing company. Oh, okay. I said it wrong. What do you mean? Well, I'd like to be financially free. There's other ways to become financially free instead of being a distributor. You see what I mean? So a lot of times we trade one thing for another and another, one thing for another and one thing for another, not really realizing that we never experienced real freedom because we really, really didn't clearly write down what real freedom was for us. So I'm asking you, what if you took the time to write down what real freedom means for you? Wouldn't that be awesome? Now that you got that all written down, what real freedom, sort of designing your perfect day. You know, when I talk about, do you have clearly written down your design perfect day? I can guarantee in that perfect day, you didn't put, well, I got to do a Zoom at this time, a Zoom at this time, and a Zoom at this time. I bet you that's not in your perfect day. Are you guys following me? So there, all right. So again, the inspiration from this came from Erica Kirk, and she wrote this. She said, "To live free is the greatest gift you can give to yourself. To live free is the greatest gift. To die free is the greatest victory." So to think that this lady, I don't know if you guys have seen her speeches, makes me emotional. To give one good speech is pretty incredible. Then she gave another speech and knocked that one out of the park. And then she did a third one. Do you know right now from people that I respect, they look at Erica as being one of the top 5 people to ever give a speech. Ever give a speech. So I'm not just saying women, but men, you know, you should go on YouTube and put in Erica Kirk's speeches. This was Charlie Kirk's wife after finding out that her husband got assassinated. I mean, man, I just do not know what to say. And then here's another thing she said. Freedom without God is chaos. So I am going to get a little bolder with unlimited wisdom because there's a lot of people that I know doesn't have, you know, if you looked at their entitled life, they're not really free from anything. They seem like they got anxiety. They're fearful of everything. You know, they're using medications, prescription and non-prescription. They're using alcohol. They're using nicotine. They're using all kinds of drugs because they're not peaceful. I'm not against this stuff. But are you really free if you have to use it all day, every day? I think that if you could be really, really honest with people and go, wouldn't it be neat to not have to get drunk or smoke a pack of cigarettes or be stoned or high all the time? Wouldn't it be free? Wouldn't it be cool that you did it because you wanted to experience something that you love experiencing, but you didn't need it every day? How many people would like to be free from that? I know when you ask people, what prescription drugs they take, they're like embarrassed. What wouldn't you like to be free from prescription drugs? Is this getting is this getting too in your face? What I want to be free from is I want to be free from sugar. See, I can say all kinds of stuff about people that are addicted to any kind of drug or pharmaceutical or cigarettes, but no but. See, that word shouldn't have been there. Um, it's like I am free from sugar. And so when I said that freedom without God is chaos, I have done through personal development, I fail at things because I'm relying on me and not God. I won't turn it over going, hey, God, take care of this. Hey, Jesus, take care of this. You said you were going to do it. Every time I try with my self control and my journaling and everything that I do, I keep eating sugar. Do you know people that always tell you about how much weight they've lost? In my lifetime, I've easily lost like 8,000 pounds. Do you guys know what I mean by that? Well, it's easy to lose weight when you keep gaining it. Go up 20, lose 20. Go up 30, lose 30. I know you guys don't know anybody like that. It's like they're constantly losing weight. Well, wait a minute. You look the same size that I seen you last time. Didn't you say you lost 50 pounds? I did, but then I gained 60. And you can see that I'm laughing because that's how I deflect, being embarrassed. Um, but yeah, I'm seeing that we're coming up on an hour. But yeah, how about real freedom? Real freedom. It's like, because if you design the life that you want before you pursue what you're doing with real freedom already mapped out. So, why I love keep calling unlimited wisdom our community is because I know when I'm called to do something and I do it, I know the people that are part of this community are going to be fine. They're going to be better than fine. What do you need taken care of? What calls do you need to do? Wouldn't it, won't it be? See, I got to change my words. You know how amazing it's going to be when the 7 live calls, Zooms that we do a week, that people can't wait? When's Kevin doing another one? When's Kevin doing a daily wisdom? When's Jody on? Now all of a sudden it's like we start having such a large community that people are saying, when is Melody going to be up? When's Bill going to be up? And so now it's got to be multi-schedule, right? So now all of a sudden everyone starts liking their favorite. Can you guys imagine this? So everybody's like, man, not only is Esther on next Thursday, I'm sort of sound like I'm doing programming of like, unlimited wisdom, but I am. See, this is my imagination. And people go, I just love Esther. She's just amazing. Hey, do you know she also has her own community? Shut up. Are you serious? And so we not only have unlimited wisdom with millions and millions of members, but each and every one of you, if you're chosen to do so, have your own community, and people within that community is also doing lives. Can you guys see the spider? You know, the community that's got communities that got communities that got communities. I never thought of it. It almost sounds like network marketing, but better. You know what I mean? Hey, did you see Jill's? Are you part of Jill's community? Yeah. Did you know that Jill was is part of Mary's community? No, I didn't. Well, Mary's got a community, but did you know that Mary heard about it from Melody? Melody's got a community? Yeah, because she heard about Jody's community. And they're all part of. Did you guys see it? Because I see it, right? And so, how many people think that you could get real freedom as we create this? If you don't have your own perfect day, uh, that's what I see. Because here's something that I know for a fact. I know this for a fact. As AI keeps expanding, and in my belief, uh, as people become more and more aware of their uniqueness and their personal connection with God, uh, people will understand that they want to be free from all this stuff. So Matt, my son, expanded my mind and he goes, Dad, what would you do every day if you didn't need money? What if the thing that you were doing, the most important thing, is for whatever reason, AI allowed you to have more money than you could give away? What would you do? I would love people and I'd want them to learn to love themselves so they could love people. Ah, so it'd all be community? It'd be all about community? Oh, yeah. And if you met somebody or knew something you wanted to throw hundreds of thousands of dollars at or millions of dollars at, imagine being a part of a community where everyone's financially free and debt free. Think of that. And Karen goes, listen, I would like to help these people, but I need 350,000. And we all click on a button and go, how much do you got? Oh, I just went over 400,000. I have enough. Did that put you guys in real freedom? It's like any member of Unlimited Wisdom wants to help people or do something they feel they're called to do. And it's money is not the thought. It's like, you better be serious if you're thinking about doing this. Why? Because the people of Unlimited Wisdom will make sure the finances are handled. Well, I don't know how to be a CEO. Great, let's hire one. I don't know anything about office space. Great, let's hire somebody. See, the people that get the stuff happen, the people that make things happen super, super fast, like the Richard Bransons of the world. Some people don't like this person, Elon Musk. But boy, that dude makes stuff happen. Like, hey, I don't like it. He's worth a lot of money. I don't know. I think he's the most incredible genius of our times. Don't have to like him, but I like to do some of the stuff he's doing. So I'll leave you guys with that. I love and appreciate you. Have a great Friday. And yeah, on some of the videos, I'm going to help you guys go on a dream. Because, like Matt talked about, the one thing that AI will never take away from us is community. AI can't do what we just did. AI can't do what happened last night. If you guys haven't seen, wow, that I'll just say that it was miraculous. It was here's the downloaded me. It was a miracle in motion. What happened last night was a miracle in motion. And I'll close with this. Every one of you can get to that. Every one of you, if you have the imagination of being able to talk to another human being that wants to be free, really free, that you can talk to them and give them the words they need to be really free. I love you guys. See you on the next video. Craig, go ahead.
All right. Wow. Yeah. And I've just posted the link in the chat for last night's breakthrough session. Please watch it or rewatch it. It was an incredible evening. So, some reminders coming up. Don't forget tomorrow, Saturday at noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, we do have the Ask Us Anything. Had a couple of things just hit my head there for a minute. So, all right. So tomorrow, noon Pacific, 3 Eastern, Ask Us Anything. Then Sunday, we have the Master's Mind, and you don't want to miss that on Sunday. Noon Pacific, 3 Eastern. Monday, recess! 9 a.m. Pacific, 12 p.m. Eastern. Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, like today, Friday. Of course, the regular Daily Wisdom. And then Thursdays, evenings, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern, breakthrough sessions. Oh my gosh. 7 days, 7 opportunities for you to join us and help us expand not only our minds, but our community and how well we do, just like Robert shared. So until next time, there are some things, by the way, there are some things in the chat to go ahead and download. Click the 3 dots in the meeting chat next to Daily Wisdom, then click Save Chat. It'll download to your computer as we conclude. Bless you. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule this Friday to join us. Until next time, please be good to yourselves, be cash, and bye for now. I'm going to go ahead and unmute so we can all say so long.
Bye, Melody, Kevin, Esther,
Bye,
everyone.
everyone.
Bye.
Everybody.
This is
Okay.
fabulous.
Love
Thank
you.
Awesome.
That is great.
Miracle in motion.
Yes.
Bye.